Hey everybody, Jason Blaha here with Ice Cream Fitness. Today I want to talk to you about the topic of using undulating reps for more advanced bodybuilders. But hold on, let me give you guys a couple poses first. As you can see, my recomp is still going quite well, gaining muscle, losing fat, getting stronger every session. And part of the reason I'm able to do that is the use of undulating reps. And um, What I mean by undulating reps are that for more advanced lifters is where you build in weekly periodization on a weekly or biweekly basis using different rep schemes and progression patterns for each of your workouts that are different from session to session. And I mean, an example that the majority of people who are, in bodybuilding and read a little bit and read magazines and things know about would be, the fat routine by Lane Norton or any of Lane Norton's power and hypertrophy routines. And what you'll find is that for more advanced lifters, and this doesn't hold true for the novice, and again, that's why the novices, when they do something like fat, in my opinion, if you've only been lifting weights for 6 or 8 months continuously and you get on a program like fat, you will gain muscle and strength slower than if you were just on a proper basic routine. And it's not because it's a bad routine, it's because it's not focused on the progressive overload and things that you need to be focused on to make to get as large a muscle gains as possible, and it incorporates more advanced protocols, and it just isn't optimal. I mean, even a program like fat, I wouldn't even recommend to anyone for at least the first 2 years of serious training. I mean, if you can't squat at least 400 pounds to depth and probably bench 300 pounds for a couple reps, a program like fat just is absolutely not for you, period. Now, that being said, I mean, the benefit to doing the undulating reps like that is, and I'll use my personal routine as an example. I said in my last video where I discussed my current training that I do 3 full body sessions every week, Monday, Wednesday, Friday, and I alternate kind of a workout A and B. I have a power day or a strength day, and then I have a bit more of a volume day. And I tend to work in the 3 to 5 rep range, and I'm doing a bit more 3 rep sets as of now on that, and doing a lot more chain work and explosive work. And everything is explosive for me on those days. I do box squats, I do pause benches, floor presses with chains, box squats with chains, trap bar deadlifts, cheating T-bar rows. I mean, push presses. It's very explosive movements, and it's, again, I'm training for power to a large extent with a mix of power and hypertrophy. You know, on those days. And then the next session, I come in and I've been working the 10 rep range, but I just dropped that to 8 as of this week. And the general idea behind that is that when you work exclusively in the quote unquote hypertrophy range, you tend to stall really easy. And when you see any guy who claims that he is a natural bodybuilder and he works in the hypertrophy range almost year round and makes continual progress, I can absolutely ensure you that guy is not natural, because in the real world it doesn't work that way. You will see continual stalls when you're working in those higher rep ranges, and especially if you never periodize out of it, you will see stalls. It's hard to keep your progressive overload going, and so your size and strength will stall. And generally speaking, for natural or even mildly enhanced bodybuilders, there is a correlation between your strength and the weight you're lifting on a given lift through using your technique and rep range and the amount of hypertrophy you're inducing and how big you get. So what you generally see there is that people tend to stall. And so one of the advantages of doing undulating reps in the sense of the way I'm doing it is that I have a day to where hopefully every time I come in and train on my heavy days, which will be every 4 to 5 days, because of the way my scheme is set up, I will hopefully get stronger. My goal on each one of those days is to take one of my lifts and add a rep or add 5 pounds to 1 or 2 sets, not even necessarily all of my sets, just a small gain in strength on, a few of my lifts every single time I train. And the idea behind that is that if I can get just a little stronger, I now have strength that will carry over to my higher volume work, which is, again, handles a lot of my hypertrophy because I'm not doing a lot of volume on my heavy days. Whereas if I was, that could be more hypertrophy inducing. And then the idea of that is that I get a little stronger so that I can induce a little more overload for my higher volume work next time. And then while I'm doing the higher volume work, my central nervous system is recovering from the heavy beating it took on the heavy day, so that it is completely adapted and ready for me to have another heavy session again in 4 to 5 days. And then by that same token, I'm recovering from the metabolic fatigue a little bit while doing the heavier days. And even though I stimulated more growth on the lighter days, hypothetically, and the protein synthesis is tapering back down by doing the heavy work after that, I'm still peaking the protein synthesis back up and respiking some of the growth. So that again, the idea is that by using the undulating reps, you're making continual gains. Again, because you're putting mini periodization into your training every week, so that you can hopefully make continual progress with minimal stalls. And then when I'm training in that type of manner, I might not do normal deloads. I will do weight resets on individual lifts as they stall, so that the other lifts are continuing to progress and at least hopefully make me stronger, so that at least some parts of my body are growing on the weeks where I'm having to reset weights and I'm losing progressive overload. And so again, the idea there is that for more advanced lifters of incorporating a method like that to make continual gains and growth, so that you don't have 3 months at a time to where you stall and stop growing. And again, for the novice, it's simply a waste of time. It's not necessary to incorporate these type of things. Even for intermediate, so it can be useful to some extent. And if you'll notice in the intermediate routine that I put up a couple weeks back, the same thing. You had 2 heavy days of 5 rep sets, and then a metabolic day doing 10 rep sets, and then hop back to the 2 heavy days again. Or another example I will give is that there is a natural pro bodybuilder who is subscribed to my channel. I won't say his name unless he gives me permission to put it up on here for that. But quite a while back, he had stalled a bit, and I started giving him advice on his leg training, and had him switch over to doing high volume squatting 3 days a week with undulating reps, to where he did, had 1 heavy day where he's doing 5 rep sets to, gain strength. His next session is in 10 rep sets to induce hypertrophy with the strength that he's gained, more hypertrophy, and then a 15 rep day to induce large amounts of metabolic fatigue, and train his thighs for extra transient storage factors and the other muscles involved in the squat. And once he started doing this, he broke past his plateau where he had stalled. His thighs started growing, and this is again, a natural bodybuilder who has been training for many years. And so again, his thighs started growing, his actual squat started increasing, and I think he added close to 100 pounds to his squat inside of a year, just by changing training methods and switching to, again, a high frequency and using undulating reps, as I had kind of prescribed for him to do. And so again, as you can see, when these things are incorporated, undulating reps are a very, very useful tool for the advanced lifter in preventing stalls that aren't necessarily going to be seen for less advanced lifters. And again, it's a method to bypass that and go ahead and incorporate periodization, so that you're letting different energy systems or things like your central nervous system rest, and then you're forcing yourself to get stronger every week or every couple of weeks, so that then you can use that new strength and neural efficiency that you gained to induce additional hypertrophy, so that the reps are undulating back and forth. And again, it's a great way to prevent certain types of burnout from certain types of staleness, and to attempts to prevent stalls, so that the advanced lifter can make continual progress. And that's really all I have to say on that today. Hold on, let me give you guys another bicep shot. And I hope it was educational, and I'll talk to you next time.